Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my home, welcome to my space. I've had a couple of requests online recently of like, what gear do you use in the studio for tracking, all that kind of thing. And I love studio tours and studio rundowns, so welcome to my home. This is our dog, Indy. He's the best boy, the best golden doodle in the world. But yeah, this is the loft space I've been in for like 5-6 years. Doing music as a full-time independent musician, also with my church. And guys, looking around the room, here to tell you, you can do a lot with a little. There's a lot of fancy studio tours, fancy studios in the world. But this is not one of those. Untreated space. But what's the Teddy Roosevelt quote, the man in the arena, you can do a lot with a little. So there's nothing more that I love than walking out of our bedroom in the morning, coming in here, putting on vinyl, let the music wash over, make a coffee in the morning, come up here and go to work. So here's a few of my favorite kind of vinyls. I have a very eclectic collection. Shout out to Bob James, one of my favorite artists in the world, influential keys player. Got a lot of fun stuff. Love soundtracks. In terms of like studio guitars, the entire family isn't at home right now. I'm traveling, doing a lot of stuff kind of all the time at church and otherwise, but my favorite guitar to track with on the nicer end of the spectrum, 1969 335 Gibson. This one rarely leaves the house, but at the same time, got a $400 Gretsch with humbuckers, little guy. Love using this for tracks and just quick projects and stuff like that. So special guitar, and then handmade Telecaster, hand routed the body with Kirk from Maryland, and this guitar is the only Tele I have. Playing on a lot of different songs and tracks. So you can do a lot with a little. Got the expensive guitar, got the cheap guitars, just use your instruments. Still love amps. So got the Morgan Abbey there, kind of AC30 top boost channel specifically, and then this small flex tone cabinet that's plugged in. Got another cabinet over there sometimes when I like to get loud, but flex tone. Steve is in Lafayette here, and the cool thing about this, it's got a magnet on it you can dial up, so it's almost like a magnetic attenuation. So I can get full amp tones at a quiet level in the room. If I want to do that thing, mic it up with a 57 or something, really fun. Yeah, so moving from like guitars to kind of my main setup, like I was saying earlier, you can do a lot with a little. Got these HS5s for monitors, and these are just truly like, it's working, it's on, it's monitoring. Anything I do project-wise, I would recommend get yourself a good set of closed back headphones, 770 Pros. This pair is actually newer, but my other pair over there I've been like listening to for like 10 years. So get really familiar with the piece of gear. It's not super expensive, but any like critical listening or mixing, it's done in headphones. Monitors, another tip, make sure they're disconnected from the wall or from your desk or anything. It's gonna like completely muddy like low end information. So got some cheap Amazon stands and got those guys disconnected from the desk. Yeah, so for computer, got an M1 Mac from 2021, maxed out the RAM. Definitely recommend that. DAWs and stuff, I'm a big Ableton guy recently, but Pro Tools, Logic, I use them all at all times for different reasons. So yeah, like I would just recommend get GarageBand, start somewhere. Logic, you know, it's a $200 or something. Get a DAW, start using it, and you can do a lot. Kind of moving to the heart of my rig, got this SIDECAR. The X32 rack is my main interface. Got Kemper, Patch Bay there, and then this really cool kind of guitar effects drawer with some stuff going on. Love turning knobs. But the heart of the rig here, so X32 rack is my main interface, and I'm running the Apollo into it. So I can still take advantage of preamps, still take advantage of processing, like all that kind of stuff. But then the cool thing is if I'm like on a remote location or I need to like throw something in a backpack, I can unplug the Apollo, get all of that on site, but I can also come back and like still work, and I'm not kind of like losing the heart of my rig. Sweet. So yeah, now at the desk, I mean, got to start with a studio candle, right? A great studio candle. This is my other favorite one, Carl the Fog from Napa. Honestly, this is kind of a way I manage like creative projects too. Like I start the candle, and when it has burned enough, I'm like, I spent too much time on this. I should work on something else. So I think a studio candle can be a great practice to have in your life. Other things about the desk. We talked about interface, we talked about rack. Power on the desk, really important. Front and back. I have this MPK controller. I love like working in Ableton and producing something. And just being able to quickly patch parameters to these faders here and do some like real-time kind of automation recording. Really simple. It's like a 60 key controller. It works great. Thanks for rolling with my weird ADD brain. I love this new box, this Franklin SS6. Just got this from my buddy Aaron. This was always something, it was a really nice to have, and I never knew I needed it so much, but this really quickly allows me to be able to switch from vinyl and guitar input here, and my Apollo and my synth or any other inputs, and get them kind of running into my wet effects rig. So like I was saying, like with the X32 rack here, I'm able to like run the DI through to like kind of this mini pedal board here for just like basic tracking needs. My live board rarely makes it home ever, and I'm mostly tracking guitar through this, other plugins and stuff. But the cool thing about this too is I'm here to tell you, for all you stereo guys and gals out there, tracking guitars in the studio, do it mono. This whole thing is mono, and then I'm running into Kemper, which is back into the interface, running all kinds of different profiles, got them on Sound Shop. Make sure you check out those. Some personal captures that I made over the years. I got like a Tyler 2020 pulled up right now, capture that's on Sound Shop. So the cool thing is though, this whole wet effects rig and switching with the Franklin, I'm coming into this board mono and then hitting Kemper mono and then going stereo. So the cool thing is, like, if I want to use stereo effects on the Kemper, I can. If I want to pull up a stereo plugin, I can. But for the most part, the actual routing of the pedals is mono, which is really awesome for double tracking situations, panning, all that kind of stuff in more of a studio environment. So I got Bruce over here, got some Dancing in the Dark. This is a really awesome dub mix I found without vocals. So I can do all kinds of stuff, fun stuff with this Franklin. So if I get this going here, you know, all of a sudden I'm in on, input 1, can turn some knobs, get a reverb going. Kind of wild. But I love doing all kinds of like vinyl sampling here. So just sitting here with like pedals, creating some like really cool textures. And like taking those samples and like actually like incorporating them into a song, rather than just like, grabbing some white noise and kind of making a cool sweep or something. That's cool too. But I can basically DI the vinyl player, my guitar, bass, whatever, into this wet effects setup, and then everything's in the box at that point. Other really cool thing, be working on a session and just start DIing this vinyl, any sort of vinyl sampling, or switch over here really quickly to synth. Start doing some cool really cool effects and stuff. Anyway, the Franklin really makes it easy to switch between all those inputs and get everything going in kind of the heart of my rig. Moving on to other stuff, I love Star Wars. Love me some Death Troopers and Rogue One, it's the best film. Mandalorian Season 2, I'm really inspired by soundtracks. Vinyl, like I've said a million times, keeps me going. But yeah, microphones, kind of wanted to just highlight, you can do a lot with a little, don't need to spend like a ton of money, just have some basics. What do you need, John? You need an SM57. What else do you need? You need a 545 if you're doing guitars. This is a Unidyne 3. It's awesome. You need an SM7 for vocals, right? Guitars, cabs, drums, anything up in here. Set up a drum kit here, small trap kit before, recorded for different projects. I love this little AKG mic. Anything can be a drum sample. Throw that on, get that little like kind of, it's actually broken. It's like a weird broken sound. I love it, but it's really special. And then got this 945 here, another classic Sennheiser sound. But you don't need a huge mic locker. Just have some stuff, plug it in. It's great. Yeah, so last part, surprise for all you pedalboard nerds out there. I did bring my board home, and usually it doesn't live here. It's usually out on the road. If I'm traveling or at church or something. Like I said, I'm tracking with the other pedals in the rack a lot. Not a lot's changed from the last rundown that I did, but surprise, I am using TONEX in mono now. I've got this new to me Zuma power supply, super clean power. Getting rid of that coil from the Voodoo Labs, and got the Canvas new stereo DI there with the phase flip and stuff. So I'm really stoked on that. Stoked on TONEX. I've got another one over here. I tried doing the whole stereo TONEX thing and just found that I liked the mono sound better. Kind of a callback to when I was running like mono Kemper through stereo effects. So the fun thing with this too is I can just throw, you know, drives, amps, whatever, put it in the chain on my board and start making noise. So, but yeah, guys, thanks for watching this quick studio rundown. If you're interested in the pedalboard video from a couple years back or anything like that, check that out. I'll link it here. But thanks for coming to my home, checking out my space, and hopefully you're inspired to create more music, more art, and just remember, it's just as easy as starting. So start.